let's just jump into it. The Olympics. Who sat through the Olympics opening ceremony? What a fucking big pile of shit that was. Listen, I was excited. They used Paris as the backdrop. They didn't do it in a stadium. Traditionally, everybody comes into a stadium and there's hula hoops and, they got all kinds of light shows and fireworks and dancers and synchronized swimming and synchronized light shows and firecrackers and M80s. And there's been some great moments of great opening ceremonies throughout the years. I remember, obviously, Muhammad Ali in Atlanta. That was a memorable moment. The 1984 Los Angeles Olympics opening ceremony, I remember that. Being so excited to see, the NBA players, Michael Jordan and them, Carl Lewis and them. This year, they decided to use the city of Paris. Paris. I've never been to Paris. I know. Yeah, White Rap, you've never been to Paris? I've never been to fucking Paris. It looks like a beautiful city, but I hear things. They're robbing volleyball players from Brazil. They robbed a couple of Austrian, cyclists or something like that. And if you can't keep your city safe during the Olympics, what the fuck? Obviously, I have to make my way to Paris. It's a gorgeous city, an iconic city, a historic city. But I was sitting around. It was Friday, Shabbat. Hope everybody had a great Shabbat. I was sitting around Friday to watch the opening ceremonies, and it came on, and it was like, this is cool. You had Kelly Clarkson and Eli Manning and Mike Tirico. How did they listen? I like Kelly Clarkson. Everybody likes Peyton Manning. He's great sense of humor. But how'd they come up with those three? Mike Tirico makes sense. He's a center guy, middle guy, straight guy, and then you got Kelly Clarkson, who obviously knows nothing about sports, and you got Peyton Manning, who is got a great personality. He's Peyton Manning. But what the does Peyton Manning have to do with the Summer Olympics? There's no football in the Summer Olympics. No disrespect, but that wasn't the problem. First of all, it was raining. You can't blame anybody for the rain. It was raining from Jump Street, and it just went on and on and on and on. And it's bad when Lady Gaga doing like a cha-cha-cha, French cha-cha-cha. No disrespect to Lady Gaga. I love her. She's great. She's a great performer. But she's doing like a French cha-cha-cha down some steps on one of the rivers. I guess Paris has a lot of rivers. They're known for their rivers. They're known for their rivers like Minnesota is known for their lakes, I think. Anyway, she's doing her cha-cha-cha, and they got every kind of freak show, and they'd have, this country's on a big boat, and then another country's on like a tugboat, and then the other countries, the smaller countries, they seem to be like on a rowboat, like they're rowing themselves. And of course, the big countries, France, with the most athletes, Brazil, Canada, they're on like the yacht type of things, or like the ferries. They look like they were on ferries. And then of course, the United States came out there, and Coco Gauff and LeBron James on some Captain America shit. They're carrying the flags, and all that was great, but it took 4 hours. It took 4 hours. And all we had was Lady Gaga and the great Celine Dion, who, listen, I'm not a Celine Dion aficionado, but I know she's been struggling with so many health issues, and she sounded great. She looked great. And it was great to see her because apparently she hasn't been doing well with her health. But it was an experiment. And I think it was an experiment to do the opening games outside. And I will say that it was an experiment that went wrong. Obviously, the rain didn't help. The cameras, I don't know if they were on boats. They seemed far away. Like we were never able to get close up on Celine Dion and her cha-cha-cha. We were never able to get close up on Lady Gaga and her cha-cha-cha. And some of the, I guess, procedures, or some of the, I don't know what you would call them. Like they had like a last dinner It's supposed to be like the last dinner, and they had drag queens. I like the LGBTQ PRZ community. I with them. But that was a big controversy, and you could hear Kelly Clarkson. She was like, what is this? Like, you could tell they didn't want to. Anyway, it was an experiment, and in my opinion, it was an experiment to use Un Paris as the backdrop. And I say it was an experiment that went wrong. It didn't go very well. Although people are still talking about it, I'm talking about it here on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. First time I've probably ever talked about an opening ceremony. So maybe it was an experiment that went right. But the Olympics are underway.